Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick garden tour since the storm. We had Tropical Storm Debby come through a little over a week ago. It ended up dropping just under 22 inches of rain on us. Thankfully, my neighborhood is slightly higher elevation, so we didn't have any major flooding. A lot of standing water, but we're not near any waterways that ran over. The entire area outside of my neighborhood had a lot of flooding issues, a lot of washed out roads, damaged homes, and my heart goes out to all of those who were affected by the flooding, who lost property, lost homes. It's gonna be a while before everything returns back to normal. I have to say, I honestly have not spent much of any time out in the garden since the storm. All that standing water that we just experienced, the soggy ground, the flooding all around us has just made an extreme population bloom in mosquitoes. I mean, I've never seen it this bad. You can't go outside for 30 seconds without being swarmed. I went to let my dogs out, looked down, and had 50 mosquitoes on my legs, and I was out there 5 seconds while they were going pee. It's pretty nasty, and because of that, I haven't really been spending much time outside. So I'm gonna try to make this one a bit quick before I get eaten alive. But the rain did not do any favors out here, so not too much to show anyway. All in all, this area is looking very, very empty and sad and diseased. All that extra water has really brought out a lot of the disease in a lot of plants, a lot of fungal issues, and honestly, a lot just rotted where it grew. So, like, squash is not longing for this world for too much longer. Even the one that was growing vertically is struggling. It's just so wet. They were under about, let's see, where was the water? These beds are 10 inches high. Water line, you can kind of see where it was. I want to say it was about 5-6 inches up over here, and that's not where it was the deepest. So it stuck around for a while, and just everything sat in water. This side looking pretty empty. You see that didn't handle that excess water all that well. Everything just kind of rotted and died. Empty, empty, empty. That super tall tomato that never produced, well, it's never going to produce because it's a goner too. But all is not totally lost. Oh no, this side of the pole beans, the Bahilde pole beans, not doing so hot. They haven't died back, but they're just, I think they're still trying to recover from the drought and the heat and then all the just inundation of rain. But the Kentucky Wonder Beans, they're doing really well. Everything stopped producing while it was wet. So yeah, I haven't come out here much at all in the last week and a half, but there wasn't really any reason to, honestly. It just needed to dry out, and everything stopped producing, or if it was producing, rotted before it got ripe. So, I mean, what you gonna do? Can't control Mother Nature. Now the peppers seem relatively unfazed. I've got plenty of banana peppers still. They're looking, oh, it's a spider web. They're looking all pretty good. All the okra lost a lot of its leaves, but seems to be surviving. So it's a little spindly looking, but it looks healthy. And I picked an okra pot off of it this morning that was entirely too large. We've got some more like fungal diseases on the peppers, but they're not affected too bad. Ooh, starting to get some Bikinho peppers. These were planted really late in the season because my seedlings got stunted and just weren't doing anything, eventually died back. So they're late bloomers, but they seem to be doing pretty good now. Lots and lots of weeds. Lots of weeds. I have a couple watermelon vines, personal watermelon vines. They make small fruit, so I'm hoping there's enough time in the season for some of the small fruit to ripen. See if I can get any watermelon this year. I mean, it's not my strong suit, but even one small one would be nice. I seem to be doing okay. I got another one over here, but I'm not seeing any fruit on it. Dude, what happened to you? So I had planted some tomato starts out here that had started a while back. First one I planted here, the birds ate. That was it. So I planted another one, and now it's all sad and wilty. Ground's not that saturated anymore. There's one that seems to be doing pretty good. And another one that's not too bad. I have no idea if we're gonna get anything off these. I just figured since I have the space, since everything else died back, might as well try to get late season tomatoes. We have a long growing season. Our first frost isn't until mid to late November, so might still have enough time. Did I miss a bean? What do you think? Big enough? I'll leave it for another day. I have started direct sowing a few more things. I direct sowed a few squash seeds, some peas, and nothing's come up. So, yeah. I'm not sure how the fall garden is going to look at this point. I'm hoping everything's just a little bit delayed, but I'm having trouble getting things to come up, and the few things that do sprout, the birds have been eating. Getting a little discouraged, but it's not over yet. Maybe a couple weeks away from the garden is what I need to just kind of reset. I mean, after all, garden burnout is a completely valid thing that a lot of people go through, especially those with particularly long hot growing seasons in more southern climates. Come August, you're just tired. We're hot, we're tired. We just want to take a break. Fighting pest and disease and drought or inundation of rain, it's exhausting. So I'm not gonna go too crazy in here over the next week or two, and just take a step back, see what happens, and reevaluate in September. I will say all that rain did wonders for the cucamelon. It's exploded with growth again, and I've just got cucamelons everywhere. I'm finally getting a decent harvest. You know, for a while there I wasn't really getting anything because couldn't keep up with the drought conditions, but they're coming in plenty now. They're all still relatively small. I figure a few more days and I should be getting a lot off of this. Man, Hannah's day at Marique melon is rough. Seen better days, but I don't know how it didn't split with all the rain. The melon did not split with all the rain and is so close to being ripe. That should probably be ripe tomorrow. It'll just fall off the vine when it is ripe. That's why these baggies are on it, to catch it so they don't break when they fall. But I'm shocked. They didn't split. So happy. Okay, so normally I would go in there and show you around the loofah and sweet potatoes and all that, but I'm not going in there because right in that area there is just mosquito central. We had a lot of standing water there and it's still very soggy, and you disturb it in any way and it comes out in a cloud of mosquitoes. But let's see if I can peek up in there. They're doing fine after all the rain. There's still plenty on there. I don't see any major disease or damage, so pretty happy about that. Let me sneak around the outside here. Hopefully I can do this without disturbing the mosquito cloud. But it's, yep, they are. We do have sweet potatoes growing. So that's a good start. Okay, yep, mosquitoes found me, gotta go. Okay, so these are some of those tomato starts I was talking about. I'll probably put some more out here, give them a chance to get bigger and see what happens, but you know, I'm not holding my breath that they'll do anything too crazy. Just worth a shot, never know. We're gonna try not to look too close at the flowers. Oh, they're rough. But my poor little cherry tree. It used to have leaves all the way up, and now it's just got some tufts of, yeah. It's holding on to a couple, but this is just purely too much water. I scraped away all the mulch. I'm trying to let this dry out, but the ground is still so wet. And this is after I improved the drainage of this entire area. I mean, 22 inches of rain is just, it's not something plants can really handle, especially young plants. But it's kind of deforming the stem a little bit, so that stem might die back. All right, raspberry time. We're actually getting quite a lot of dormant red raspberries right now, but every time I come out here to pick them, it's like a blood donation to the mosquitoes, so I'm kind of late and not getting them in the morning because the mosquitoes are so bad, but that gives the birds plenty of time to get them. Everything back here seems to have held up okay in the storm. A little bit of yellowing, a little bit of overwatering, but not too bad. And this area is, there's a reason there are water-loving plants all through this area. Plants that love wet feet, because wet feet is what they're gonna get over here. Oh, it's just, it's crunchy. Everything's turning yellow. And oh, they used to be so pretty. It was silver mound. Okay, and we're also getting the Anne's Golden raspberries. But every single one that's gotten ripe so far is mottled and deformed, and looks like it was affected by disease, a fungal disease from it just being too wet. If you remember my last video, these are ones that I got mislabeled. They're not a variety that's particularly well suited for the South, for humid and wet conditions. So they are more prone to getting diseased, and that's exactly what's happening after 22 inches of rain. But hopefully once everything dries out, some of these unripe berries will form properly. Like I said, trying to make this a quick one. Can you even see me? No? Okay. I'm trying to make this a quick one just because I'm getting absolutely eaten alive out here and can't really stand to be out here much longer. Donated enough blood to these mosquitoes, but I wanted to show you the update on the dragon fruit, because today is the first time I've noticed the fruit that was successfully pollinated and is forming is showing color. Look at that. See all that red in there? It's starting to show some color. Oh, I'm so excited. Like I said in my last video, I've never tried dragon fruit, but I grew it not even knowing if I would like it. Seems to be what I do. That's okay. And I am so excited that in about 15 days, these should be ripe. And this is the first time I've gotten this far growing them. Oh, but I love the red that's poking through. Oh, I know, I'm geeking out about a cactus, but it's exciting for me. Don't judge me. Another flower just bloomed last night that I pollinated. I have no idea if it was successful. Well, we'll see. And the one pollinated right before that wasn't successful, so it fell off. But we have that bloom that is gonna bloom tonight. It's kind of bright out here, so it might be a little hard to see, but can you see that little white poking through there? Right here? That is part of the petals inside the flower. That happens the day it's going to bloom. They always blow my mind when they bloom. They're stunning. Well, I had to come inside. Couldn't take it anymore. The mosquitoes out there are nasty. Hopefully everything dries out. We don't get any more thunderstorms like we've been getting regularly since then, so nothing is dried out. But anyway, wanted to give you a little update, let you all know that we are indeed okay over here. We got lucky. Thank goodness, but season's not over, even though it looks a little rough out there. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.